Demon Slayer Infinity Castle just scored the biggest anime debut ever in the United States with a $70 million opening. Thanks for tuning in to this weekend's box office winners. Before we dive in, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss which movies are killing it at the box office. Now let's dive into the numbers. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle finally hit theaters in 49 plus countries worldwide, including the United States, to where it opened to $70 million. And that is incredible as it makes it more than double the previous record holder, Pokemon the first movie, which debuted in 1999 to $31 million in the US. And Sony Pictures is the distributor for the film in many countries worldwide, including the US, except for home country Japan and other Asian markets, thus making this film Sony's biggest opener in 2 years since Across the Spider-Verse. Not only showing Sony Pictures' weak slate, but Demon Slayer's incredible growth in mainstream media. And for that, Crunchyroll is paying Sony Pictures 20% of the box office for this distribution, which should really satisfy Sony Pictures, who, as I mentioned, hasn't had a big hit since 2023. On top of that, it's the 6th biggest September opening ever, just a tad bit behind Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And it's the biggest September animated debut for a film of all time, surpassing Hotel Transylvania 2's $48.4 million debut. Globally, as I mentioned, the film launched in 49 additional markets and earned $132.1 million globally this weekend, bringing its worldwide total to $468 million, making it the second highest grossing anime film of all time, only behind Mugen Train. But at this pace, it's set to surpass that film this week or early next weekend to become the #1 anime film of all time. Now, there are rumblings that the film cost $390 million. However, nothing is factual, especially considering that the first Demon Slayer only cost $15 million. And that is a big difference, so I suggest we wait to see Crunchyroll's exact budget for the film. All in all, I expect that Crunchyroll and Sony Pictures are ecstatic for Demon Slayer Infinity Castle's performance thus far. Now let's talk ratings and demos for the film. The film scored an incredible A cinema score and is beloved by both critics and audiences on Rotten Tomatoes. The audience split was 57% male, showing a good split between female audiences and male audiences. And regarding age, the core audience was ages 18 to 34. And also, premium formats crushed it for this film, as 44% of the audience saw this film in IMAX or another premium screen, showing that people wanted to see this film on the biggest screen possible. Now let's check out the rest of the top 10. At number 2 was The Conjuring Last Rites, which scared up $26.1 million in weekend 2, dropping a harsh 69%. However, with a $55 million budget, it's already a huge win for the franchise and horror films in general, as it's already made $131 million domestic and $332 million worldwide, and it will soon surpass The Nun to become the highest grossing Conjuring film ever. At number 3 was another new release with Downton Abbey, the grand finale, making $18.1 million in its debut. Now, this film skewed heavily female at 72% and older, with 55% of the audience being over the age of 55. Worldwide, the film debuted to $30 million, and let's see if it has the legs to reach the first film's $194 million worldwide cue, which at this rate seems kind of impossible, but we'll see. At number 4, The Long Walk opened to $11.4 million. And the film does have great audience and critic reception on Rotten Tomatoes, but with a B cinema score, which is just okay for horror films, its long-term run is uncertain. At number 5, Toy Story's 30th anniversary re-release pulled in $3.5 million, proving that people love rewatching classics on the big screen. At number 7, Weapons added another $2.6 million in its 6th weekend, dropping 48%. Worldwide, it sits at $259 million, and it looks like it won't be able to cross the $300 million worldwide tally. But regardless, this film is already a huge success. At number 7 was Hamilton with its 2nd weekend in re-release, still holding, making another $2.2 million, but dropping a harsh 78%. At number 8, Freakier Friday added another $2.1 million, dropping just 46% from last weekend. It's now made $91 million domestic and $144 million worldwide, and it now seems impossible for the film to reach $200 million worldwide. But it will definitely surpass Freaky Friday's $160 million total from 2003. At number 9 was another new release, The Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues, which debuted to $1.6 million. And rounding out the top 10 was another new re-release, The Sound of Music's 60th anniversary, which debuted to $1.4 million. And Hollywood's rave on re-releasing classics in theaters is not going away anytime soon, as Back to the Future is celebrating its 40th anniversary and re-releasing in theaters on Halloween. And that wraps up this weekend's box office winners, where Demon Slayer has not just broken records domestically, but worldwide as well. Let me know in the comments if you saw part 1 of the Infinity Castle saga in theaters, and make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss next weekend's episode, where we'll see the release of horror movie Him and A Big Bold's Beautiful Journey's release in theaters. And as always, keep watching.